All right, so this is my take on the hero deck. I have noticed a couple profiles right now, and they're all kind of like similar, but I wanted to do something a bit different, and I'm finding it pretty effective in my duels as of late. Okay, so to start off with, three solid soldiers. So they're your extenders, your Goblinbergs, you need them. Three Vision Hero Vion. Pretty much, yeah, it's one of the staples of the deck. You dump Malleys, you dump Shadow Mist. You can set up plays for that. You go into Isolde. Another staple. One, two Shadow Mist. Two is to find the perfect number. You know, it's good for dumping. It's good for special summoning, so you get your mass change. It's another staple of the deck. And one, two Mally. We played two because it's down to two. You know, unfortunately, Konami had to hit it. Yeah, it's a +1 extender, and you need it for the deck as well too. For your one ofs, one Bubble Man. This is pretty much for Acid and Absolute Zero plays. Yeah, you only need one. If you have more than one, it tends to be a bit bricky, especially with the deck I'm playing. Like, I'll show you the spice in my deck, and it does tend to be bricky, but the ceiling is pretty high, so I like to keep it that way. One Honest Neos. You only really need one. If you have more than that, then I don't know. You kind of screwed, I guess. Anyways, because you don't want to draw more than one. You want to be able to make more plays, and it's a good hand trap. It protects Dark Claw, protects also the next card I have up, which is pretty important in the deck as well too. One Plasma. I love this card. It's a skill drain on legs. It puts in work. When I get this guy and actually Dark Claw on board, it's hard to out. It's very hard to out unless you have a Raigeki or a Dark Hole or something. Yeah, very good card, and yeah, I'm surprised more people don't play it, but I understand it's hard to get out. But I have a way in my deck to make it easier to get out, so I'll show you guys that in a bit. Destiny Hero Celestial, another very good card. I use him because I use a specific fusion for him, Destiny Hero Fusion. So I'll show you guys that in a bit later in the extra deck. But he's a very good card. He's agreed once he's in the graveyard. He also, if there's a troublesome like field spell or some face-up spell, you can pop that just by declaring the attack. So very valuable. Obviously another one of Stratos. Stratos is very good, I find. A lot of people kind of talk shit about him, but he's free. He's a good searcher. If you got a bunch of warriors on the field or heroes and stuff, it's good to you're able to pop back row, like a lot of back row, especially if you have a good board. So still a very good card. Now for one of extenders, Butter Spy. Yeah, he's a pretty good extender. You just normal summon and then you can get him out, and worth playing. Photon Thrasher, another good extender. Not a lot of people play him, to be honest, but he's good. He can make rank 4 plays. I have one rank 4 Xyz, so he's worth giving it to. It would be better if I got a better attribute, like don't really need the light, but if something else comes better and it's rank 4 and like a special summon, like a dark or something, I'll definitely put that in the deck. But for right now, I think Photon Thrasher is fine. Okay, now for the spice of the deck. 1, 2, 3 Hero Kids. So yeah, I'm surprised more people don't play this guy. I understand he can be bricky, but if you just brick with one, you can still make some pretty good plays. And he just allows so many things to happen. You can just do link plays. You can pretty much you can get Plasma out real easy, especially if you search off the Shadow Mist and just tribute all 3 of them and all that. And you could set up a pretty big board. He has definitely a very high ceiling of actually high level plays that can stop your opponent in his tracks, especially setting a pretty strong board. Okay, now for our spells. So 1, 2, 3, Called by the Grave. Okay, these, I'm so happy Konami brought this back up to 3 because it's so valuable. Like, this deck gets really hurt by hand traps, so the fact that we have this now, like, it's very, very valuable. And it should have never been hit in the first place because fuck hand traps. Alright, so 3 E-calls. Another staple. Yeah. This is your main searcher. You need it. You know, notice that little German one. Pretty swag. But yeah, it's definitely needed, and basically for searching and be able to put some monsters on the board. Okay, now 3 mass change. Basically gets your mass heroes. You need it. Gets your Danklaw, gets your Acid, your Deanne, whatever you need. Put some work in the deck. Okay, now for your equip spells. I play only 3 because of Hero Kids. It's a level 2, right? So I play DDR, Moonmirror, and Divine Sword. It's pretty self-explanatory, but those are the ones I really need the most. You need DDR to, because you banish a lot, you could pretty much Monster Reborn from the banish pile. Moonmirror Shield, it's a good card. You could recur it if you draw it, and pretty much if you have no outs, you could just equip it on somebody and then just be hard to get over. And Divine Sword, because it sets up your Gumblar plays, pretty much. I don't like Gumblar, but the fact that it's such a good card in the deck, and I know it's degenerate, but like Konami's not going to do anything with it yet, maybe until the next ban list, so you have to play it. It's too good of a option for you not to play it. Another one of Mass Change 2. I'd play 4 Mass Changes if I could. I can't, so Mass Change 2 is a good alternative, and even your extenders like the Butter Spy or whatever, you could just like Mass Change to it and you can get your Danklaw or whatnot. And it's just, also if you have like a Mally in hand, you could just pretty much get rid of that. So it's, discarding is not a problem because you have Phoenix Blade, so it's worth playing. Shade Brigandine Extender, you know, it's free, might as well. Drone, another extender. Like, you want to be able to make plays, so these cards are very good. So you could just put that over there, like start off your plays, do that. Or you make a Zold, just pretty much make your Hornet drones and you have another extender to go off of if you bricked a bit. Super Poly. I have some spice in the extra deck, you know. Super Poly is good just to break your opponent's board. So I'll show you what I have. I also have something else in the side deck that I use against Thunder Dragons that is pretty valuable. And Super Poly is just like a good power play to do. I understand like it's a one of and you don't barely see it, but it's just such a good power play, and once you get it out, it's just worth seeing the salt on your opponent's face. Soul Charge or Wind Charge, you know, he's worth playing because it's just, you know, you could win games just on it. You can get a rank 4, you can get some of your cards back from the graveyard if you do it properly. You know, I'm considering playing Monster Reborn because I don't really link that much in this deck. It's more like I have locks and whatnot, but still, as of right now, it hasn't hurt me that much, so Soul Charge is the way to go, I find. Another one of's Hero Lives. Self-explanatory. This card used to be at 3, it's at 1 now, but definitely worth playing, especially if you bricked a bit. You know, 4K is not that much, especially if you have a winning play after, like a Darklaw, Plasma, you know, board that's pretty hard to hit with some face downs and all that. It's just like definitely a good card to play off of. Really good extender in the deck. Poly, I do have some Poly plays, some fusions in the extra deck. I'll show you them. So one of is fine. And Rhoda. Wish this card was bumped up to 2 because, you know, you can never have enough searchers, but it's not at the moment, so I'll play it as one of. So it's definitely staple in Warrior decks. Okay, we'll go to our side deck right now, I guess. Yeah, so Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. I use them for Thunder Dragons because it's a good side. Never used it yet, but I play Super Poly and you know, hoping I can do it so I can out that troublesome Thunder Dragon board of Colossus, Titan, and the other Colossus. But one of these days it's gonna work. I side all my hand traps, so that's why you didn't see any in my main deck. So I played 2 Ashes, pretty valuable card. Stops your stops a draw, stops an ad. Pretty much. It's yeah, it's a staple. It's expensive now, but worth playing. Ghost Bell for Thunder Dragons. It's worth it. Unfortunately, I don't use it as much as I want to. Like, I keep on hearing it's supposed to be good in the format and all that, and I hear there's a reprint coming. So hopefully more decks will be put out where I can actually use this more properly, but I find it's good in the side against Thunder Dragons, any cards that banish a lot, so like BAs as well too. So whenever I get to actually use them, I'm like happy as fuck because I'm just like finally I get to justify myself for having such an expensive card. But yeah, it's a good hand trap, so I side it. Okay. Sorry over here. 2 drills. Yep, it's hits searcher decks, so Sky Strikers, True Dracos, any decks that use resources like crazy, like it's good against. So definitely need to use it, especially if they search like crazy. So decks that don't search that much and just like have like 1 or 2 ads, like I usually play Ash, but if I'm playing against really big heavy searcher decks, I usually side in the drill instead of the Ash. So another good card. 2 Ogres. Yep, this card is pretty good. I just added it recently back in after a little long layover not having it. Pretty good card. Like, you could use it against a Summon Sork, against Rongo Bongo. You can even use it against Sky Striker with the the multi-roll. It's good for punishing that, and it's just good for decks that use field spells. You can just pop it, and also it stops a lot of plays, but you have to well time it and all that. You just can't just use it whenever. Still worth playing though, I find. 2 Evenly Match. When I'm going second, this deck really hurts. It is a going first deck, so when I get to see Evenly Matched, I'm pretty happy because usually it kind of screws over my opponent a lot, especially if they have a big board. So definitely worth playing for when you're going second. 2 Twin Twisters. Debating whether I should put this or Hatronade, but right now, like, I find it's good against like True Draco, Altergeist, Sky Striker. Any decks that are really heavy spell based or just have lots of face downs. It's definitely worth playing. And then you get the discard, so you pretty much could discard that troublesome Mally or whatever brick you have in your hand. 2 Red Reboots, because fuck Altergeist. It's a cancerous deck, but when you have this, you can pretty much OTK. Also, it's good against Paleo Frogs. Any decks that are really heavy with traps, which isn't really that much, but still worth playing because Altergeist is such a good control deck. All right, now to our extra deck. So, Danclaw. He's, star of the show in this deck. He's just, when you put him on, you can't do any graveyard stuff because everything gets banished. So, stops a lot of decks. You get that rip a card effect as well too when your opponent adds. So, definitely worth playing 2 of. I think that's a big staple in most hero decks. Okay, 1 Deanne, because he's worth playing because you can just, if you get your opening play stopped where you have your Solid Soldier and you try to like go into special summon another hero, like you can just mass change it and like lose the target. So if your opponent impermanences your Solid Soldier and try to stop your play, then you could just DN and then pretty much still continue with your plays, and then your opponent also wastes their impermanence. So it definitely keeps you having plays because the permanence like also hits the deck really hard. But things we have mass change, it's an out, right? Acid, because it just pops your opponent's back row like crazy. and it's like a harpy duster. And my best board is like when I have I'll show you a combo later. That's pretty good. Like, but this guy is really good when you have a bubble man and you just want to get rid of some troublesome back row. Dystopia, a little spice in the deck I'm playing. That's the reason why I'm playing Celestial, and he's really good in the deck, I find, because when you equip a Phoenix Blade to him, he becomes a Dryden, and he just pretty much fucking stops shit from happening. So you can just pop any card in the field, especially like after you make your Dark Law Plasma, you just get your Dystopia on the board, and you're able to get rid of troublesome face down. That could probably be like a Storming Mirror Force or something, or just be able to recover and make plays if they break your board somehow. And also, another thing that you can do as well too is when you make Dystopia and you have Celestial in the graveyard, you can just go for burn damage, like burn 16, which is really good for going to time, because the new time rules, like you need something to help you kind of squeeze out a couple games here and there. And I find with Dystopia, he's pretty much your Gaga cowboy. So definitely put some work. He looks fucking cool too. Adoration, it's generic, good for anti-bricking, and it's a pretty decent card. You could just if you have a Mali in hand and you need to get rid of one, and you can just pretty much go in your Vision Here Adoration, banish the Mali, and then go into your Zol plays and all that. So I don't really use them for like any other strategies than that, but it's generic, and you could definitely use them because it's just two heroes. Ab-Zero, I love this card. This is a fan favorite for most hero decks, and he pretty much puts in work. He's a Raigeki once he leaves the field, so leaving the field could be just getting banished or getting sent to the extra deck. It's just leaving the field. So there's a play where you Ab-Zero and you mass change your Ab-Zero, and then pretty much nukes the board because you go on Acid and you hit the back row too, and it's just so cool. So it's definitely worth playing just for that. Just a one of. Isolde. Yeah, it's a warrior deck, so you need Isolde, just especially to get your hero kids out and just make plays off of that. He puts in work. Well, I mean, she puts in work. Sorry, gender is a thing. It recently got reprinted, so I'm hoping it doesn't get banned. Otherwise, we might have to use Cross Guy or whatnot. But yeah, it doesn't look too good. Usually, when Konami reprints something, that means they're trying to get their last bit of money out of it before it gets hit on the ban list, because it is pretty degenerate, because you can just make so many plays off of it. Summon Sork, again, another degenerate card. You just can do so much, and it's the heart of the deck, pretty much. Summon Sork and Isolde is pretty much allows you to make your crazy boards, so let's hope that it doesn't get banned, but most likely it will, but we'll see. Most likely the next card will get banned, though. Gumblar, yeah, I don't like playing this, but when I do have a Shadow Mist and a Solid Soldier in hand, like, I have to do it because it's just too good of an option. It just usually wins games. There's a board I can make usually when I don't brick, whereas this, it's Gumblar, Phoenix, Nightmare Phoenix, and Darklaw, and it's the Rip 4, plus if they try to add a card, it could be Rip 5, and you protect your Gumblar with Destruction. You can have an Honest Neos in hand as well too. Like, usually I just draw the Shadow Mists, and I'm able to search the Honest Neos later, so it protects the Darklaw as well too. So it's a pretty hard to beat board unless your opponent has a Raigeki or a Darklaw hole. But luckily those are at once, so it doesn't really happen that much. But yeah, if there's a card that's probably going to hit and degenerate, it's this one. Probably also Rongo too, because you just can't fucking play when you have those cards. It sucks, but it's the way Yu-Gi-Oh is now, right? Mud Dragon of the Swamp, another really good card. Super Poly target, it's generic, breaks boards. Hoping that they can have some other better Super Poly cards coming later. But right now, this is probably really good just for the main deck, because, especially with combo decks, you can just kind of break boards and make plays off it. You can also, like, polymerization it later, put a hero over there and go into Ab-Zero. So an option right there. And also you can go in your rank 4 plays because it is level 4. So you can go to Exiton, which I have later in the deck. Nightmare Phoenix, yeah, pops back row. You know, you can use it with Gumblar to protect him and all that. It's definitely worth it. And it's also generic as well, too. Don't really use... I was thinking about actually using Cerberus as well, too, but, you know, it's just the extra deck is so tight, so... If Gumblar gets hit, I'll probably put a Cerberus in there. Oh, yeah, I forgot this other masked hero. Anki. He's pretty good. You know, you could do your combo where you attack and then you kind of... you can get a mass change and then go to Dark Law again, and just... You can also go do straight... hit directly with half of his life points, half of his attack points, so... Definitely if there's a troublesome card on the field that doesn't let you attack directly or get over a card, you can just keep on hitting it past that, but don't really use them that much unless I'm going second and all that. But because I'd rather you get my Dark Law on board, but an option. It's worth playing. Boral Sword, you know, the expensive OTK. It's like I think it's like 120 right now. It's pretty crazy. I got it for like 70, so I got kind of lucky with that. But yeah, really good card. Once you have them, have another card over there with 2,000 attack. It's pretty much game when you have an empty field. So definitely a must-have. And Exiton, the board clear. He's definitely worth playing, I guess, out of all the rank 4s. You can just nuke the board. And I've definitely won games with him, especially against Altergeist and all that. So definitely worth playing. So this is my extra deck. No, this is my extra deck. This is my whole hero deck going first. And it's been putting in work. And I find that I'm having a lot of fun with it. And it is heroes, and I've been seeing a lot of like hero decks over there, and they're more so dark heroes, dark warriors, I guess, with like Neo Space Connector and all. I find this is more heroes. It's fun to play, and I find that it was a bit different, so that's why I wanted to post it. I hope you guys enjoy it and give it a try. Thanks.